Good morning. Quick video, 6:38 Thursday morning, my Friday. I was off yesterday, didn't make a video. But what I did do is buy an Xbox. Something I've been contemplating for some years now. I haven't owned an Xbox since high school. Since high school. Um, so this is interesting. I got a couple games, Grand Theft Auto, Modern Warfare, and 2K19. So yeah, just something to stimulate my imagination and is long term financially frugal, if you will, more or less. Anyway, I'll talk about a couple things. Couple things. Opportunity. Opportunity. Uh, I was at church on Sunday, and I posted this on Twitter. I kind of changed it. What's good, Aaliyah? Um, I adjusted the quote to something to the effect of saying no or quitting doesn't guarantee a second or different opportunity. And it's something I'm dealing with currently. Opportunity sometimes comes in the form of something you don't want. You have all these different people online talking about they single and I don't want person, that has this trait or is this height or lacking in this height or whatever, this size, this color, well, whatever. We all have our preferences, but yet we're complaining about, this area of lack. And who knows what may be, the solution may be around you and you're just ignoring it or you don't want it. But in relation to opportunity, it may come in the form of something you do not want. Another quote that I tend to adhere to will be something in the form of there are answers hidden in people that you do not enjoy, or conversations that you don't want to have, or people you don't want to be around. It's interesting. Um, in my office, in particular, I'm not going to name names, but there are, personalities that I don't enjoy, that we just don't click with. And it's probably one of my biggest challenges as far as interacting with them intentionally, obviously in the form of questions. There's not a lot of side conversation and small talk going on, but you know, truly giving them quality questions to find out what they know. And sometimes you find out about people in certain environments. Perfect example, we were having a I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. You learn nothing by quitting. You learn nothing by quitting. Yeah, I was about to go too far in that one. You learn nothing by quitting. You learn nothing by quitting. I've quit multiple intramural teams. Not multiple, one. Basketball. I finished the volleyball team. But basketball we're doing quite well, it was up and down. But I foresaw us losing in the playoffs, which that's what happened. So I wasn't wrong. But if you look at the volleyball team I coached, I played the whole entire season and we lost pretty much every game. Maybe one game or so. But we lost the rest. And I enjoyed that season. Now, I was speaking to my career field manager, and we were just talking about how I went out of finance, and the term quitting came up, and it was different definitions concerning what quitting really means in relation to my life and my career. But I still had to address the fact that am I quitting on a career field that I just don't have all the answers yet, or maybe I don't have the right questions? Am I in the right opportunity, but I don't have the right questions? I would still argue no. But it's a good question. It's a good question. Are you in the correct opportunity? Are you in the right place, the right location, but you're not asking the right questions? I started to make a different video this morning, and I have notes on it. And it was going to be concerning like regrets as far as after I joined the Air Force. And I listed a couple things, but a couple of them would be Signing a 4-year contract versus a 6-year contract. Did I make a mistake there? Well, in my opinion, yes. Um, but then there was the big one that kind of stood out. Not networking, as much as I could have, in terms of being in the right place at the right time, but not asking the right questions to gain access to a different, variable or different environment, different change that is potentially available to me. Was I in the right place? Was I in the right grocery store? And the product I was looking for was available. It was on the shelf, but I didn't ask the right question. That's how I have to learn to see opportunity. At least for my current place, is looking around me and saying, I'm in a Pentagon. I'm at Andrews Air Force Base. I'm in Washington D.C. I'm in the right place, at least in terms of my current assignment, my current job, my current, purpose. I'm in the right place. I'm in a place of opportunity. People come here from around the world to achieve. They want that government position. They want that ultimate resume, bell ringer. They want to go happy hour and they're waiting for the question. What do you do? I work here for this person. I'm in the right place. But there's a question I'm not asking. And obviously my goals control my questions, but my attitude controls my focus, and that's the part that is screwing me up. One of the most valuable things you can have as a person, as an adult, is the ability to self-assess. Self-assess. Without that, you are an accident waiting to happen. It's something I pride myself on. It's not something I practice 24 hours a day because obviously I miss the mark just like anybody else. But the point is that you need to be able to look at yourself and say, am I wrong? Long term, am I wrong? If I keep doing what I'm doing, will I hit my goal later? It's something a lot of people don't practice, and they end up in ruin because they didn't ask the right questions in the moment. It takes growth. It takes growth. It takes maturity, a level of maturity to realize I'm doing something wrong and it's not working. We all know the definition of insanity. I'm doing something wrong currently, and it's not matching up to my end result that I'm desiring. And it has nothing to do with happiness. It has nothing to do with happiness. If I used happiness to measure my efficiency or my success in a given environment, I would still be at home, civilian. I would not be here in the Air Force in DC going to sit in a cubicle. You can't use feelings to measure your success. Feelings are notifications. Another thing I regret, which kind of lines up with networking, in terms of providing value, that's how I define networking, is providing value in exchange for value. Not so much as asking for help and asking for this and asking for this and give me this and give me this with your hand out constantly, but providing value to where someone wants to be in a relationship with you because they see you're valuable. They don't want to lose contact with you. When people come to finance, the best thing you can give them is your personal email address. Obviously, they can see your name, they can look you up, but will you respond? In my case, unless I gave you my email, no. But if I give you my email saying, if you need anything, reach out to me, let me know directly, that's the most valuable thing you can give somebody who needs to pay their rent, who's going through the PCS process. And, obviously it comes with certain stressors and whatnot. But yeah, along with that, asking for help from a place of weakness, not having anything to exchange. In my building, I'm the low man on the totem pole. I'm at the bottom of the food chain, the given hierarchy that is the Pentagon. Everyone is above me. So usually my position gives me leverage. Being that I work in finance and everyone in the military is a customer of finance, everyone. So when people come to me, I immediately have leverage on them, and it's, it'll behoove me to assist them, to my highest level of excellence in order to gain a relationship. to build that networking, that conversation, that ongoing conversation that long term benefits both of us. But when you go to ask for help and you don't have anything to exchange, now you're vulnerable. And speaking for myself, I'm very competitive. I have a level of pride that may or may not be healthy, but it's me. I hate to lose. And so when I go to ask for help, I'm in a place of I don't have all the answers. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I have all these books I've read. I have all these different principles that I live by, and none of them apply to my current situation. What do I do? And it means it's time to ask for help. It's time to turn to someone who has experience, concentrated knowledge, not now, along with that, because I can hear the critics, I can hear the comments. It's a term called anti-fragility that you guys all need to be aware of. I made a video on it on this channel, so just search anti-fragility and Raymond Isiah. But anyway, anti-fragility is probably one of my favorite concepts I came across in 2019. And it has to do with choosing between reading a book and getting the actual hands-on experience. Which one do I choose? And I have this argument constantly. I have this argument all the time with people around me. They're saying, "Oh, experience. I'd rather do the thing and just get the experience. I want to actually do the thing and see what it's like." So it got me to where I'm at. All my mistakes in the past got me to where I'm at, and that's fine. But there are a lot of things that you're leaving out, such as what's it like, to be a defendant in a criminal court case. What's it like to be, accused of murder? There are tons of things on that list of I would like to experience those things versus, read a book on that you're not mentioning when you say I will choose experience versus the theory. And the difference is anti-fragility. And I'm not going to go into all of, the definition of anti-fragility, but basically, anti-fragility is basically it's the opposite of fragility. So if you take a glass cup and you drop it off of a desk and it breaks, it's fragile. What's the opposite of something being fragile? Something that is stronger because it fell. So the experiences I look for are me making a mistake, but I benefit only from that mistake. I don't break. And then there's another term. What's the term? It's basically where it's not affected whatsoever. So you take a rock or a pebble and you drop it off a desk. It's unaffected. It did not benefit and it did not break. It's unaffected. So I can't think of the word. It's killing me. It's basically the equivalent of being opaque or something that doesn't let light through. That's a whole nother thing. But something that's unaffected, period, unaffected, fragile, and anti-fragile. Unaffected, you benefit, you do not benefit whatsoever, and you're not, negatively hurt by the experience. Then you have fragile, you fall off the desk and you shatter in a million pieces. You don't get any second chances. You're done. You're done. And then you have anti-fragile, where you fall off the desk and you benefit. You're stronger from it. I'm choosing the experiences that are anti-fragile in nature. That when I fall, when I make a mistake, when I do something wrong, I learn from it and it benefits me long term or even short term. Versus getting a DUI or running somebody over because I was texting or there are tons of mistakes that you can make that they're just going to follow you. You can't outrun them. I posted on Twitter a while back. I believe it's on Instagram as well. The story of Adam and Eve is a perfect example of how some mistakes are immediately fatal. Some mistakes are immediately fatal. Mistakes are the name that we give our past experiences, or experiences is the name we give our past mistakes. But some mistakes are immediately fatal. All this has to do with opportunity, because there's some opportunities that you can take and you will fail because of. You take this opportunity and, this is a great opportunity to sell weed while you're in the military. That you're not going to benefit from that. You won't. There's no circumstance under which you can sell, marijuana and reefer while being in the military. That's a fragile experience. Read a book on it. Leave it at that. You get the point. Another thing that I wish I kind of embarked on more in terms of regret, things that opportunities that were available to me that I did not take. Not saying yes more. Story time. This past weekend, Friday afternoon, we're sitting in the office, just sitting around talking with personnel. And they come in and say, yo, we're going to volunteer on Saturday morning to remove wreaths at Arlington Cemetery. Christmas wreaths from the grave sites. And of course, immediately I thought, that's my Saturday. That's a no-go. Unacceptable. But ultimately, they talked me into it. It was a whole crowd of them, so obviously peer pressure is a thing. And they said, all right, come on, it'll be fun. And I showed up. Beautiful weather. A lot of you may have saw it on Instagram or Snap. Beautiful weather, and it was just a huge crowd of people that showed up. And it took maybe an hour. And from that, afterward, we went to breakfast that morning, and it was maybe 6 or 7 of us, and it was just nice. It was my type of activity. It was more like a hike because of the hills in Arlington Cemetery. It was actual workout, some good fasted cardio. And what I learned from that is that saying yes to that didn't change the fact that I had to get up, pretty much the same time I got up. Well, not 2:30, but I still had to get up. I had to sacrifice my morning. I had to sacrifice the peace that I'm usually accustomed to, the routine I'm usually accustomed to. I had to sacrifice all that to say yes to this opportunity. But it benefited me, meaning that I actually enjoyed it. It didn't hurt me. It got me closer to people that I don't usually work with, or people I don't usually, interact with. Work in separate offices. Yes, we're in the same office space, but I'm not usually at their desk talking with them. I'm usually at my desk doing my job, as are they. So from that, I was able to have some deeper conversations that don't revolve around pleasantries and just small talk as we're passing in the hallway. We're actually able to have a deep conversation, and it was, for me, I enjoy quality conversation. Saying yes. There are plenty of things that you're saying no to just because it's not based on your personal, your psychology, your neuroscience, the way you think, the things you enjoy. You say no to them because you already know. There's a policy I used to have, and I still kind of use it, low key. It's either hell yes or no in terms of my decision making on a given opportunity. Something will come up and I'll just quickly weigh it out. Is this a hell yes? Is this something I would jump at instantly? Is this something that just I got to do it, or is it a no? If it's not one or the other, it's a no. And I've had to learn to adjust that, because not everything is binary, especially in terms of the opportunities, the change I'm trying to create in my own life. Some things are hidden in that gray area. And if I use hell yes and no to define everything and say, this is not competitive environment, this is not a sports environment, this is not a food environment, this is not a sleep environment, this is not a dating environment, this is not a vibe and coffee and just staring at the window environment, so I'm not going. But what if there's a hidden opportunity it's just in that gray area of you just need to take a risk that is anti-fragile in nature. Just take a risk. Take a risk. Every opportunity you take is a risk. Every opportunity you encounter is a risk. You could fail. That's why it requires wisdom. When you engage in certain variables, you engage with certain people, certain opportunities presented to you, you must weigh them out with wisdom. Is this something that I can afford to take a risk on? The Air Force is one of those risks. It's opportunity to a lot of people. Obviously, a lot less people take the opportunity, but it's a risk. I gotta go. Opportunity. I'm not saying take everything that comes your way. Every email that you get, you immediately, I'll do it. I'll do it, because you will quickly realize the value of longevity and the value of, running the marathon versus the sprint, and trying to do everything in January and December of every year does not work, historically speaking. That's why we constantly have new resolutions of, I tried to do this and I burned out. I tried to be Superman all year long and I burned out. You got to pace yourself. But with that, you could probably do more. I often speak to how knowledge is addition. We're learning, we're gaining. We need more. But wisdom sometimes is subtracting and saying no to this opportunity, but saying yes to this opportunity. I'm not saying take everything off your plate and say I'm not going to do anything. I'm saying weigh out your life in terms of the amount of time you've been given, 24 hours, and then actually add in priorities and say, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to do this. Sometimes wisdom isn't saying no to something. It's saying, instead of that, I'm going to do this. It's still in a place of doing. That's where we're at. It's an interesting topic. It's so volatile and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Saying yes to one thing could open up so many different doors in different area, and it's something I have to practice. It's something I had to embark on in terms of the current environment I'm in. Yes, I'm unhappy in the current environment or my current position, my current job, but there are opportunities at play. I live in America. I'm in a very concentrated career field of the United States Air Force. Find the opportunities. Say yes just a tad bit more. Practice smiling, be approachable. Maybe somebody is trying to help you, but they're afraid. They don't know how you'll respond. You may have that resting, that resting face where, you're not thinking about anything. You don't care about much. You're not tripping, but people look at you and they're like, what is wrong with him? Why are they so upset? Preaching to myself. My face usually just that's how it looks until 4:30 hits, and I normally get off around 7:30 at night. Like I just be, working late. People they want to help you. They may have something that they may assist you. They may see you're in a place of discomfort or a place of unhappiness, and they say, I got some plugs over here. I got some options over here. I got some opportunities over here. I got a deployment over here. I got this meeting over here, but they don't trust. They don't trust you. They don't trust, how you'll react. Can I trust him in this environment over here if I gave him this opportunity? Can I trust him to lead when he has people under him, even though he's unhappy? These are major questions you need to address before you get in a position of discomfort. At some point it's coming. A lot of you are uncomfortable now already. And you're saying no to a lot of opportunities walking past you because of the discomfort. Opportunities must be based on wisdom, not discomfort. Volunteering must be based on wisdom, not discomfort. Saying yes and no and dating and your career field and the cross-training process and choosing a career field, your decisions need to be based on wisdom and not the pain. Because one thing I have realized throughout my career is that cutting corners creates more pain. It may create change temporarily, but it may create more pain than you were dealing with previously. And now we have regret. So just keep those things in mind. The week's almost over. Practice this. Practice looking around you and saying, what opportunities are available to me where I currently sit? Not in a different office, not after my 2-year mark, my 4-year mark, or when I go back to the civilian world. What opportunities are available to me right now that I have not accessed yet? And then ask yourself why you haven't accessed those things. What questions should I be asking? Who should I be asking these questions to? Do they have the power to change my current position? Promotion comes from above, never from beneath or beside you. So, be careful if you're just venting to people around you or asking questions to people around you. Maybe ask a question up. Obviously, in the military, we have a chain of command, we have protocol. But think about these things. What are you missing out on that is sitting right next to you, right over in the other office? What are you missing out on? You want to deploy? Have you asked a question yet? You want to go TDY? Have you asked a question? Are you good at your current job before you try to take on more? Are you approachable? Do people see you as disgruntled? Not that you can change that, but are you doing everything within your power to bridge the gap in terms of being a approachable, respectable human being? Something I'm working on. Smile, laugh at a dumb joke. It's not gonna hurt you. It's just, yeah. It's not gonna hurt you, man. That's the video. I gotta go. Say what's good.